Hey, John Martinez here with Midwest Revenue Group, and I want to talk about one super simple thing you can do to increase close rates. So I've worked with a lot of sales teams. So personally, what I've seen when implementing what I'm about to show you is somewhere between a fourth and a third increase in conversion rates, increase in closes, or when I say conversion rates, I also mean conversion to that next step. So depending how long your sales cycle is and how many steps there are and so forth, this might mean a deal, a sale, right? Or this conversion might mean conversion to the next step. So let's talk first about decisions. You know, any big decisions, especially buying decisions, we don't usually make them until we have to. In fact, we usually put them off as much as we can. And this is more true the bigger the decision is, right? The higher the impact the decision is, the more money we have to give up if we decide to buy something, for instance. So decisions, we don't make them unless we have to. Think about maybe a career change you've had. Maybe back when you were applying to university, if you went to college. If you're looking at cars, if you're looking at homes or large appliances, where to go on vacation, anything like that, usually get your options. And you make the decision when you have to, right? So don't take my word for it. Just think about the decisions that you've made or your friends and family members have made and walk yourself through that. So if you want to close more deals, one way you can do that is by bringing that time when someone has to make a decision closer to now. In other words, we want to force them to make a decision, right? If we can force our prospects to make a yes or no decision, we are going to get that decision. So one of the biggest deal killers are people thinking it over. Sometimes they never feel that urgency to have to make the decision, and they just never ever do. So one thing we want to do as a salesperson, or if you're running a sales team or you're a sales leader of some sort, is you want to either yourself or teach your team to bring that have to make a decision date or time closer to the present time. Okay? So we want to force that. We want to be in control of that, right? And the reason we want to do that is because whatever's holding these people back, whatever this deeply hidden concern, objection, whatever it is, it could be just that there's not enough motivation, but there's something deeply hidden, right? If someone's not making a decision, it's because there's still some unresolved stuff that they're thinking about. And usually this doesn't get resolved again until people are forced to. So we want to bring these hidden gems to the surface. Whatever these deal killers are is what I call them. Whatever's holding them back, whatever concerns they have, or again, it could be an issue of motivation. There's not enough motivation to move forward. Whatever it is, we need to uncover it to bring this deal to conclusion, to a clear yes or a clear no. But there's a problem with this, right? Here's the problem. If somebody feels pressure, that stuff's going to stay hidden, right? That treasure is not going to pop out of the chest. We're not going to dig that stuff up, in other words, right? Think about how you feel when you're in a high pressure situation. Do you shut down or you just open up, right? If you are at the car dealership and you're sitting down with the salesperson and they've got your keys because let's say they just valued your car for the trade-in, and you say, hey, you know what, Joe? I'm not sure yet. And the car salesman stands up and goes, no, you have to make a decision right now. We are not leaving until you make a decision. How are you going to respond? Some people are going to shut down. Others are going to be hostile. No matter what, you're not giving up any more information. The conversation stops. So here's where we're at so far. We need to put the pressure to make the decision onto somebody in order to get more closes, more conversions. However, we need to do that in such a way where we're not putting any pressure whatsoever on anyone, right? So this is just like this picture here, right? They need to be absolutely relaxed and just chilled out in order to let some of this stuff come to the surface. So we need to put pressure on our prospects to make a decision without putting any pressure on them. How do we do that? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's actually really simple. I know leading up to this, it sounds super duper complex, but this is really simple. We give them a yes or no decision, and we let them know that no's okay. Here's what it sounds like. Hey, Mr. Prospect, I completely understand 100%. It's a big decision. There's a lot you need to think about, and I'd probably think and do and say the exact same thing you did if I was in your situation. That being said, I've done this long enough that, I know when we get to this point, after everything we've covered, if you're not 100% confident in moving forward, we probably just need to call this thing a no, and that's completely okay. If you want to move forward, that's absolutely awesome. Love to. But if you're not comfortable for any reason, we should probably just call this a no. And if that's the case, I want you to know my feelings aren't hurt. That's completely okay. So did you hear what I did? I used one of our basic rules, which is yes is good, but no's okay too. This does a couple of things. First, when we let them know no's okay, that takes all the pressure off, right? Hey, I'm not gonna hard sell you. I'm not gonna force you into anything. And if you tell me no, also my feelings aren't gonna be hurt. It's no big deal. So I want to relieve all pressure so we can have open, honest communication. And the other thing I did is I forced decision while relieving all that pressure. Hey, if it's not a yes, it's a no, and that's okay. That's how we take a prospect. We force them into decision, but by letting them know that no's okay as well, we simultaneously remove all the pressure. This is how we can uncover those deeply hidden gems. What's holding them back? Is it a case of not enough motivation or urgency to take action? Or is there something with the relationship? Is there something to do with risk? Is there something to do with discomfort? Where is it, right? What is that fear that's holding them back? This is where we find out. You know what we also might find out here? They might say, you know what? You're absolutely right. It's a no. If that's the case, we win anyways, right? Wouldn't you rather know if it's a clear yes or clear no at the end of every sales call? Wouldn't you want to get rid of that bloated pipeline where you have 1,000 people that have told you maybe or let me think it over? That stuff doesn't do you any good, right? Yes or no. If we have a clear yes, we know what to do with that. If we have a this is holding me back, we know what to do with that. If we have a clear no, we know what to do with that. And even when we get a no, we can continue to sell from there because there's a few highly effective ways to do that too that we talk about in all of our sales training courses. So, when we train sales companies or sales organizations across the country, this is one of the most impactful lessons because it's so super easy to implement. Yes or no, and no's okay. After everything we've talked about, if you're not 100% confident that we need to move forward in some way, then we need to call this thing a no, and that's okay. My feelings aren't hurt. I talk to a lot of people every single day about what we do, and it's just not a fit for everyone. I don't expect everyone I talk to do business with us. That would just be a completely unrealistic expectation. So I want you to know no's okay. I came into this conversation expecting that it might be a yes, but it'd probably be a no because 3 or 4 or 5 of every 6 are no's, and that's okay. That's what this conversation is for, to figure out if it should be a yes or should be a no. And it sounds to me like we're leaning towards the no, and I think that's probably what we need to call this thing at this point. Yes is good, no's okay too. So implement, right? I know you're going to be scared of this, but I promise you will close more deals. No doubt about it. I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands of companies to this point. Implementing this, yes is good and no's okay too. And it has never failed. If it does, let me know, and I will happily eat crow. You will not lose a deal. Don't try to hold on to a maybe or think it over like that's going to turn into something. Let's just get to this, the yes or no and the no's okay. So this is John Martinez with Midwest Revenue Group. I hope you found this valuable. Have a great day.